Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy, the Mad Kaigan, up here today with a new series. Today I'm going to be talking about a new series called The Best of the Worst movies. That is. So today I'm going to be talking about the movie House of the Dead. But before I get into that, I just want to kind of digress what I mean by best of the worst. You know, there are good movies, there are bad movies. You know, this is a pretty commonplace. You know, but I like to say that some bad movies have redeeming qualities. A movie can be terrible, like like this one, for example, but at the same time, still have a sort of level of goodness about it, a level of fun, a level of enjoyment that you can only get from these type of movies. Then you have movies that are terrible, bad, for a completely different reason. The Hollywood bad movies, the Transformers movies, for example. You know, the difference between smaller, independent B movies and Hollywood blockbusters that are terrible is, the thing is, when you look at movies like the Transformers movies, Hollywood doesn't care about the franchise. They don't care about the fan base. All they care about is making that money. You know, so you can take an idea like Transformers and make a movie of it. Give it to Michael Bay, and he can make 5 or 6 movies from it, each of them progressively worse. But people are still going to flow out their windows to go and see it because they go, oh, Transformers, I know what that is. And they can go and watch the movie, and they don't care whether the movie's good or bad because they made their money from it. You know, and that's the thing. You know, people, if you were to give someone this movie and Transformers, 90% of people are going to go, I know what Transformers is, and only a few people are going to know what House of Dead is, right? So that's how Hollywood works. You know, they look at these big blockbuster franchises, the Star Wars, the Transformers, the Pirates of the Caribbean, the Disney movies, all of these big names, and go, we can make a franchise of movies out of that and not give two flying fucks whether the fan base likes it or not, because they're going to make money out of it. And that's why, you know, in this series you're not going to see a lot of big blockbuster Hollywood movies in this best of the worst or best of the worst movies here. The good so But then you've got movies like House of the Dead that are intentionally you know, these movies aren't well-known franchises, they're not well-known movies, they're not well-known to a majority of people, so they can have a bit more fun with it. But I digress. I just wanted to get that out of the way. So let's go into House of the Dead. So if you don't know what House of the Dead is, it's a video game franchise of arcade shooters by Sega. Now, I want to start off by saying those House of the Dead games, they're not known for their story. They have cutscenes, they have a story, but they are just over the top. They're ridiculous voice acting, it's terrible, but the game's fun, don't get me wrong. So when someone decided, oh yeah, Uwe Boll could make a movie on our franchise, I want to start by saying, I'll give them prompts. They worked with what they had. So the story of this one, basically, and I say story lightly because you don't watch this movie for the story, and I'll get to it in a minute. But basically, it's these group of friends that basically want to go to this island where they're having a rave and a party, and they're asking this captain of a boat, can you take us there? And then there's a guy saying, no, you don't want to go there, it's the Isle of the Delamorte, which means Island of the Dead or Island of Death, which is very, you know, cliche. But of course, they want to go there, and they go there and find all of the people that are on the island dead, and they're trying to figure out what's killed them, and then all of a sudden it gets pretty much the story there, and then they're basically trying to fight to survive against these I say zombies very lightly because it's not the zombie we know and love. These are basically like zombies that there's no rules to these zombies. Some of them are slow and bite. Other ones have axes and kung fu zombies, and it's wow. The first half an hour of this movie is pretty dull. I will say that. But when it gets going, oh my god, this was absolutely crazy. You've got these five, first of all, you've got these 5 or 6 group of friends that have no military experience. And then you give them a bunch of guns and grenades and that. And then all of a sudden, they're like Bruce Lee, man. They're doing like kung fu kicks and matrix and jumping in the sky and slow motion kicking and going upside down and throwing grenades and shooting hundreds of bullets as per Desert Eagle and having about 10-15 guns on them going bang 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 bang. And wow, the sequence, there's like a sequence that goes on for like 10-15 minutes, and wow, it is insane. It's like, wow, this is crazy. And you don't know whether or not you can sit there and go, this is just awful, or this is the best thing I've ever seen. That's what I mean by the best of the worst, basically. It's batshit insane. Like I said, the story, it tries to have a story, you know, it tries to have a bit of a backstory, and they figure out, oh, this being remade by this guy who's thousands of years old or whatever, and who cares? Like, honestly, who cares? But this movie doesn't know what it wants to be. Like, is it an action movie? Is it a horror movie? Is it a kung fu movie? Is it a survival movie? Is it a party movie? Is it a comedy movie? Is it a romance movie? It's everything. It really is. It's everything thrown into one. And it is batshit insane. It's full of cliches. It's full of terrible dialogue. The fun, cheesy dialogue, you know. But, wow, the editing is absolutely just, wow. They use things like whitewashes and screen wipes, things that you'll see in PowerPoint presentations. But the 2 craziest edits they do in this movie, you'll never believe this. So when some people die in this movie, instead of actually showing them die, they do show them dying, but instead of actually showing them die, what they do is it will do like a spin around the character who's died standing there, then do like a flashback of the character through the entire movie and what they've done, as if you haven't just watched them do all of this stuff. And then the screen will go red and it will scream. And I get that it's a video game movie, and I'll give them prompts. It feels like you're watching a video game. It really does. But wow, I've never seen a death sequence like that in a movie. In video games, yeah, but wow. And if that wasn't enough, this movie actually takes scenes and videos from the House of the Dead video games, the first, second, and third game, because this came out about the same time as House of the Dead 3, and actually implements that into the movie. So it's like, okay, if you don't know you're watching House of the Dead and you don't know what House of the Dead is, we're going to throw in loads of cutscenes from the video game. And then what makes me laugh the most is they actually throw in these cutscenes to edit. So like if they're going down the tunnel and they're shooting the grassy zombies, it will literally, instead of actually showing them shooting the grassy zombies in the movie, it will take a scene from the game where they're shooting grassy zombies in the game and use that as them being killed. It is ridiculous. I have never seen any movie do that. I've watched video game movies, and no video game movie that I've watched actually takes scenes from the video game and puts it into the movie. It is, wow. I can't believe it. It's like, this movie was like, wow. I watched it and I was like, that was 87 minutes of pure entertainment. I say entertainment, but it's like Marmite, basically. It's an acquired taste. You either love it or you hate it. And I personally really enjoyed this one. Sensational sword fighting, gushes of stylish gore, and Living Dead extravaganza. Alan Jones, Fright Fest. Yeah, because House of the Dead's known for its sword fighting, right? You know what? I'd rather a video game movie be like this. Feel like a video game movie. Feel cheesy, feel dumb. Than when you look at the Hollywood video game movies, what was the Monster Hunter movie. That movie was awful. It bombed because they thought, oh yeah, flashy and great visual and over the top visuals means a good video game movie. No, it doesn't. If you want a video game movie based on a video game that has no story or little to none story, then House of Dead, Uwe Boll, say what you want about him. I mean, they took a video game that isn't known for its story and tried. This is technically a prequel to the first House of Dead movie, I think. And wow, it is, it's full of cheesy visuals, gore effects, and, like I said, the zombies in this game, I say game, but movie don't follow no rules. It's not like your traditional zombies, they follow no rules. But if you play the video games, the zombies in the video games don't follow the usual zombie rules either. You got ones that jump around and throw axes at you and knives, and wow, this movie feels like you're playing a House of the Dead video game with your usual movie stuff in there. But House of the Dead, this is a 1-star movie. There's no denying how bad of this is. But as an entertainment value, I give this a 4 out of 5 stars in entertainment value because, wow, it is entertaining as fuck. This kind of reminds me a little bit of the Dynasty Warriors movie in the sense that the Dynasty Warriors movie was over the top. It was crazy. As a movie, it was terrible. But for the average moviegoer. But if you played the games, you know how over the top those games are. So if you want a good Dynasty Warriors style movie that's epic and amazing and beautiful, then watch the movie Red Cliff. But if you want a video game movie of Dynasty Warriors that feels like a video game movie, then watch Dynasty Warriors. And the same goes for House of the Dead. If you want a video game movie that feels like a video game, House of the Dead, man. This was crazy. It was entertainment. It's laughable. For the average moviegoer, you'll probably watch it and go, that was the worst thing I've ever watched. And rightfully so. But for people who appreciate bad movies that are entertainment, don't take themselves too seriously, you can't go wrong with this one. Now, I also want to check out the movies Alone in the Dark, House of Dead 2. There was a sequel to this one. I don't know if it's a direct sequel to this movie or if it's just name only. Alone in the Dark is one that I've heard is terrible. The Far Cry movie, again, Uwe Boll. I'd rather watch a bad video game movie that's bad for all the right reasons than watch something like Max Payne, where Max Payne was just awful. I mean, I watched it a long time ago, but that movie was just awful because it was trying too fucking hard to be a good movie when clearly the people who made that movie had never played the video games. So, at least people who made this movie probably played the video games because they thought, well, the video games are over the top and crazy and cheesy and stupid, so we'll make a movie that's just like that. So, this is my first of the upcoming crazy, stupid, best of the worst series. So, if you enjoyed today's video, feel free to leave a like and comment below. Let me know if you've seen House of the Dead. I don't know if it's got a Blu-ray release. I'm not sure if it got one in the UK. I think it may have got a Blu-ray release in the US. I'll have to double check. I do want to get the second one. Maybe it's in that big box of DVDs that I get. And of course, subscribe if you haven't already. I will be seeing you in 2 days, guys. Christmas is in 2 days. I'm hyped. I'm actually hyped for Christmas this year. It's my Christmas that I'm taking over. I'm in charge this year. My first Christmas without my mum, so I'm trying to do my best. I put a lot of time and effort into trying to make this a good Christmas, so I'm in charge this year. It feels good to be in charge of Christmas for a change, My son will be happy, of course, and I will be vlogging it all throughout Christmas. I might have a couple of drinky poos, so I might be a little bit stupid, but probably do the usual thing, the opening of the present stuff in the morning and showing it all off, and then obviously me unboxing the big video, box of DVDs, and then obviously I might throw in a few clips throughout the day, and then edit it at night and then upload it late at night or something like that. Something a bit different, a bit of fun, why not? And as always, guys, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch with the Mad Kiger. I don't upload a lot on there, but if you want to get in contact with me, that's where I'll do it. So yeah, so tomorrow, tonight, I'm not doing anything tonight. I'm spending some time with my partner, and then I'm gonna, tomorrow, of course, Christmas Eve, so we're gonna do some stuff throughout the day. And then, of course, I will see you on Christmas. So as always, have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, and bye-bye.